Welcome back, everybody. I just got done doing an episode with one of my homeboys, the co-host. But so if you see me wearing the same clothes, it's because I recorded on the same day. But today we are with a special guest. His name is. Go ahead, introduce yourself, bro.
My name is Marcus Calhoun.
Yes, sir. That's the man right there. So homeboy, we go way back. So I met him in high school. We went to high school together, but we didn't really talk, to be honest. Like it was just like one of them one of them friendships where like I'll see you and I'll say what's up,
Yeah.
and it'll be like what up, but then it'd be like you're the type of dude that like you quiet, like you don't say much. You
No,
feel
you're
me?
right. You're right.
So it's like, but he's cool though. Like if when he gets down to talking, like he's a machine, bro. You can't stop this man from talking. So
It's what I like to do sometimes. I like
yeah,
to talk. I like to ramble a little bit.
yeah, but that's perfect because we're in a podcast. So um, this is gonna be episode number 8. So
I like that number. I like that number.
Hey, man, if you guys don't know, this man knows a lot about like numbers. So what would you call that? Like
It's numerology.
numerology. There you go. We kind of talked about this in my episode with my co-host, but but I told him I'm like I need to have him on the podcast. I need to have you on the podcast because like you know a lot about that shit. You know a lot. You know a lot about like astrology too, right?
Yeah,
And
astrology.
numerology and all that stuff. And it just seems interesting because it just seems on point.
Yeah.
Everything you said it like literally on point.
Right.
So I'm like I'm trying to study this dude. I'm trying to see how he does it. I'm trying to learn. And it may take a lot, but
You just gotta do what you do.
yeah.
So, like for numerology and astrology, what I like to refer those things as is like cheat codes.
Cheat code.
Yeah, it's a cheat code to life.
Alright,
So like everything in this life is kind of like surface level that we learn throughout. Like I told you last time about like school and things like that. Like that's surface level.
Okay.
And for us, like I told you, we have a connection to where we like the occult. And what the occult is basically just, it means hidden. So it's like hidden knowledge.
Okay.
So what we do is we take that hidden knowledge and we use it, and that's what makes us wise.
Okay.
Okay? So we don't like the, traditional way of doing things. We like to
yeah.
get down to the hidden, knowledge and use that to benefit us,
Okay.
And
yeah.
I'm like I tell you, I'm a big player with that. I love it. I love it because it gives me an advantage in life, I feel like, over certain people.
Okay. Yeah.
So like, for example, for all you that don't know, I work at McDonald's and I've been working at McDonald's for.
See, that's another topic we want to talk about,
Yeah.
or I want to talk about, because it's like, sorry, I was sick, or I'm still sick, but for some people, like working at McDonald's is like their first job, Like it's like, oh, you get to have your, you get to have that age of where you can work. First thing they do is they go work at McDonald's,
Right.
And I saw him working at McDonald's for like 2 years, and I was like, okay. And then after like the second year of you being there or something like that, you became a manager.
Yep.
And I was like, damn, so he moving up.
Yeah.
So he moving up, and it's like, but that's another topic we're gonna get into like when we're done talking about this. But yeah, you go ahead, bro.
So like, just certain things about like your day-to-day life that you can use for like numerology, for example. So like today, let's take today. Today is March 17th. It's St. Patrick's Day, right?
St. Patrick's Day.
So
That's
if
when you see all the green.
right, you see the green, you see it, you love it. So like today is the 17th. So if you add 1 plus 7, right, that's 8.
8, yep.
Okay, so each number has a specific meaning behind the number.
Yo,
Okay.
shut the fuck up, bro. So listen, you talk about what?
Yeah.
In this episode 8.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. That's what I love that number. Because 8. So 8 is like money, power, and karma. So if you think about it today, today is a good day to get your bag up. Today is a good way to learn new ways to get your power up. And that can be anything that is meaningful to you.
Okay.
But another, on the flip side too, it's a bad thing. Let's say you do something bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna come back to hit you even harder because it's karma, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So what's the shape of karma? It's an infinity symbol, right?
Yeah, what you do is gonna come back to you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's the shape of an 8.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why the 8
Oh shit.
is the number of karma because it's an infinity symbol.
Nah.
Okay. So like, for example, today, hopefully this is gonna make you a lot of money today because you're doing a podcast.
Shit.
So
yeah.
you're gonna get in your bag. You're doing something that's gonna make you money.
Okay.
Okay. But don't think of money as always a monetary value too, because money is a currency. So it flows.
Yeah.
So let's say if you're, like for me, I like to think of things as vibrations.
Yeah.
If you're a low vibration, you're going to attract negative things.
Yeah.
But if you're in a high vibration, of course you're going to get your money. It's just going to come easy.
Yeah,
It is what it is, you know?
Oh.
So, but another thing too, that's just like the secondary energy. So the day is only the secondary energy. The primary energy is a 1 today. Because if you add 3 plus 8, which is 11, plus 8, which is the year, 2024, 2 plus 2 plus 4. I think I said that right. Yeah. So that'll equal 19, right? 1 plus 9, if you add that up, that's a 1.
Yeah.
So today, you know, that's a good day to start new things because 1 is the beginning, right? Beginning of the numbers.
Yeah.
So new beginnings. And then it's the number of the leader. Okay. Think of the shape of an L, right?
Yeah.
What does that look like? A 1. So great day to be a leader. Great day to be aggressive. There's going to be a lot of people that are outside that are aggressive. Because you know why? Aggressive starts with what? An A. And A is the what? First letter of the alphabet. So numbers and letters, they all have the same meaning. So
that is crazy, y'all. Like if you guys relate to what I'm about to say, you know, comment down below. But like the way he just went through all these numbers and all this, you know, he did a lot of math right there. And I literally got lost.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Like I suck at math. Like I'm gonna say this for real. Like I suck at math.
Yeah.
And the way he like broke down everything to like, and it just clicks. And it's crazy how that shit works, you know.
It is crazy.
But like what I'm trying to get to is like, where did you learn all this? Like how do you? Because I'm sure you didn't wake up one day and you were like, oh shit, numerology.
You're right.
So it's like, how do you start to like, it's hard. Like, I feel like it's hard for you to get to whatever level you are right now. Because, especially if you suck at math. I'm not saying you do, but like for me, if I wanted to get to the level that you are right now, it would be so hard for me because like I don't know about math, you know. And I do know, but it's hard for me to, you know, break down the numbers and stuff like that. So my question is, how do you started like learning about numerology? How did it even became an idea in your mind? How did it like what went through, or what do you go through for you to like become a person that you are now, you know? Let's start from
the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So actually, this is my first time ever telling this story. So it was back in 2022. That year was just crazy for me.
Yeah.
And I didn't know why at the time, but it was just bad stuff happening after bad stuff. And I was going through a messy breakup at the time. So this one girl that I used to date, you know, it didn't work out, whatever. And I was kind of like, not like depressed, but down in the dumps a little bit. So then me being me, you know, I love knowledge. Scrolling through TikTok one day.
Okay.
And I come across a lot of, you know, platforms. Because you know how like TikTok, you know, you see a lot of things that you know normally don't see in the media. Like it's all like weird stuff.
See, that's one thing. Like I was literally talking to my homeboy about this.
Yeah.
They're trying to get rid of TikTok. Why? Because it has a lot of knowledge. It has a lot of news that the high elites don't want you to know about. You know? And it's a lot of things that they're being real out there. You know, like they're actually like saying the truth. They're actually speaking on what is really happening on the world. You know. But yeah, continue to what you were saying.
Hold on, let's pause.
I'm sorry, guys. I get so sidetracked about this, but like, you know, understand, I'm new to this shit. This is a new thing for me, so I'm trying my best to stay like in the same path that
Yeah.
you're going.
Yeah.
But it's also like hard for me to like remember, because if you keep talking about it, then I'm gonna forget,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
gonna add it on.
Yeah.
So, understand me, and then
Right.
yeah,
But I like that too because
Mhm.
me, I'm the type to not only focus on one topic, I
Yeah.
like to venture off too.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm gonna be
yeah,
doing
yeah.
a lot too.
Alright,
So TikTok, you know who that's run by, right?
the Chinese people.
Okay, but do you understand why they're doing that, right? So, have you heard of the New World Order? That's something you should look into. Okay, so basically, what the New World Order is, everything in this lifetime that is happening to us, as in the USA and the world, it's all planned out. Okay,
Okay.
and it's all planned out by these families. Okay,
Families,
they're called the 13 royal families. Okay, so have you ever heard of like the Rothschilds?
No, bro.
Okay, yeah, bro. You gotta really get your knowledge up on that, because what it is basically a plan, just to sum it up, to get us to a one world government, just like China.
Okay.
So you know how China is a dictatorship, and like they want everyone to be controlled under the same
mhm.
umbrella. You say a wrong
Same
thing,
page.
you're done.
Yeah.
China thing, because right now I believe America is the best country to live in. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because not only can you make a lot of money in America, you have your own freedoms. You can say whatever you want. You can create any life you want, or any lifestyle. Tell me another country you can do that in.
You're right.
Right. So it's the land of the free. Okay.
Hold on, I'm gonna stop you there though. So you said that in America you can say whatever you want, but like, have you heard of people that they said a thing that the high elites don't want you to know about, and then all of a sudden they for some reason they die, for some reason they disappear, or for some reason they just don't have any social media, or oh, I'm sorry guys, I was just bullshitting you, this is just all
Yeah.
so how is it that you're saying that in America we can say whatever we want, but then there's people like Ryan Garcia, have you heard of this?
Yeah.
Homeboy, he came out saying like, oh, they're doing this to the kids, they're doing that to da da da, and then he did that for like 2 days. Like his shit went viral for like 2 days, and then the third day or like later on, he came out in a chair sitting talking about like, oh, I was just trolling. I was just saying this to and it's like people are saying, like, for me when I watch TikTok, I go in the comments.
Yep.
Cause like that's when like you get to debate with people like what do they think,
Yeah.
and that's where you get your conclusions of. And a lot of people were saying that he may be told by somebody else to say what he's saying,
And that
which we don't know.
Right, we don't know for sure.
Yeah, we don't know if he's actually saying the truth. We don't know if he's trolling. Who knows? But like, what I'm saying is like, let's see, and this is gonna prove a lot of things in here. If later on Ryan Garcia comes out saying like, oh, I was just trolling y'all because of my fight, da da da.
Yeah.
Something must be up. Something is up right there. Or if for some reason he doesn't make it to his fight, whatever the case it may be, then it's like, okay, so what could have happened to Ryan Garcia? He was just talking so much shit, and now where is he?
Right, he just disappeared.
Yeah.
And okay, so I have a hot take on that. I believe that like celebrities, especially like Ryan Garcia, back to your point, you said that when people say stuff, right, they end up disappearing.
Yeah.
They might retract on what they said. But again, you got to realize this is all they're using him to distract us for something else that's going on, right?
Okay.
So for example, he's going on his tangents, right? Everybody's focused on Ryan Garcia. Okay. Nobody's worried about what's happening in the world right now.
You're right.
Because everybody's worried about Ryan Garcia. So I like to call celebrities puppets.
Oh, shit.
So they're puppets. So whenever they need somebody to come and convey something to the public to make them feel or do something that they want them to do, they use those people to do it. So right now we need a distraction, right? They're going to use Ryan Garcia because he's hot right now. He just came back to social media. He was gone for a long time.
Yeah,
he come back better or whatever.
Yeah, he gonna have a fight soon.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, how do you just get a fight when you just came back?
Right.
It's all a setup, bro.
Yeah.
And just like the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. All the same thing.
Now it's everything. Like, now that you put it that way, it kind of makes sense.
Right.
But I don't know if you heard about this. There was it was actually on TikTok where this dude was driving, and then all of a sudden, for some reason, he saw like a giant on the mountain.
I seen that. Okay, yeah.
And then he recorded it and everything and posted on TikTok. Boom, went viral, right? And he after that, I think he came up again and said, "You guys, I'm being followed. There's people outside my house parked in like on the street where I live.
Right.
And these cars are never here. Like, these cars are new to me. Like, what's going on?" And then that was one video, and then the next video he posted, he was saying that, oh, it wasn't true. It was.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so what is it then? You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like, well, what's going on? And didn't he die too? Like, didn't he?
He just came out missing. I think he might have, like, they got rid of him. You know how it is.
Yeah, but like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's crazy how, like, if you say something wrong, or if you say something that they don't like.
But you got, okay, think of it like this too, though. You're thinking more on like the things that people don't need to hear, or like the high up people don't want us to know. But if you are like in terms of like, I can go outside and say like F Joe Biden or whatever I want to say.
Yeah.
Not say I agree with that statement, by the way, but I can go say that, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to get in trouble. But let's say if I say F the Chinese president, who I don't know the name of right now,
I see what you mean.
I'm killed. You know what I mean?
you mean, yeah.
Because you can't disrespect that dictatorship. But like in terms of that stuff, of course, they don't want the public knowing that, you know, we have this or that and everything like that. They don't want people to know that, because why? Then it's going to start to open more eyes. The more eyes open, the more
they
right.
The more they hire the more that they are high risk to, you know, bring them down, or
right.
The case
Right. So their plan will eventually get halted or stopped because more people know certain things. So that's why you said, like, if you say that, you got to watch what you say and who you convey it to. Like, you can't just go on social media and be saying, oh, I saw this, I saw that, because then they're after you, because now you're garnered, you know, 12 million views on YouTube, and you don't want that attention. No. Especially not from them families. They're coming for you. They'll come for not just you, your family, and everything like that too.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, let's go back to what you were saying, that, you know, the United States or USA is the best country you can live in. So, you know, name or go through why is it the best country we can live in. Well, you said that there is like, we can say whatever we want and all this stuff.
Yeah, so we can say whatever we want. Like I said, you can go from being poor to rich in this country easily. Okay? Not only that, we have what you call like e-commerce, like the internet. You see how fire that's taken off? 10 years ago, there's no way you could have made money off of TikTok, or even doing podcasts like we're doing right now. There's no way you could have made money off of that. But America made that a way for us to make money. Okay.
So let's talk about your take on saying that if you're poor, you can become rich. How so would you think that it will be a good idea for the people that want to actually improve themselves? What do you think is the best way to like start working on that? You know.
Oh, to get to that level? Bro, honestly, it starts from within, okay? Like, I can tell you so many ways to level up your game, but it all starts in here. You got to want to do the change, number one. And number two, you got to change your mindset. And I know that's cliche. You hear that on every little podcast. Everyone's like, change your mindsets. But you don't really know the value of your mind.
Yeah.
Like, your mind projects your reality. So it's kind of like, whatever you think up here, that's where you're displaying out here. So if I say, for example, oh, I'm going to be rich, and I keep saying that and I truly believe that in my heart, I'm going to be rich one day. It's not going to be overnight. It's not going to be 1 year, 2 years.
Yeah.
It might be 5 years down the line.
It may
but,
take 10.
Right, it might take 10.
Mm-hmm.
Depends on the person. But I truly believe that if I keep living on that mindset of, oh, I can get there, or I'm going to be there.
You will.
Yeah, you will, because
Eventually you will.
life will start lining up for you that way. But like I said, if you start thinking, oh, I can't do it, or you don't believe in yourself, you say one thing and then your actions prove another, that's another root of evil too. And you're never going to get anywhere.
See, that's one thing, and that's where a lot of people got to be careful to who they hang out with, to
Your environment,
who they relate to. Yeah, their environment. Who, who they say if you hang out with the wolves,
you're gonna be one.
So this is like I get what you're saying, and I understand where you're coming from. But for me, it's like, yes, it is. It United States is actually a good state to live in. It has more opportunities than anywhere else. But I feel like sometimes the system is kind of messed up on the way I don't even know how to put this, but like, even like just the bills, bro, or like the food that we eat. We were just talking about this with my homeboy. The food we eat, sometimes you're eating a lot of hormones. You eat chicken. There's a lot of shit that they put in the chicken. There's a lot of shit that they put on all these meats that they put in. There's a lot of preservatives. There's a lot of stuff that they put in there. And I actually heard that the food you eat and the water you drink, it can impact in your like, let's say if you're a man, it can impact in your
100%. 100%. I already know where you're going with this. 100%.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm gonna go back to your point about, they're trying to set us up for failure, basically.
Yeah.
But you gotta think of it, okay? If you have all the opportunity to do it, right, and you have nothing to, to balance it out, like, you can't have all good in one country. That's never gonna happen, okay? Because that's just like the law of opposites, basically. Yeah. So if you have all the opportunity to be free, right, and you don't have anything to make it not free, then guess what? We're gonna have everyone being free, right? And would they want that? No. So they have to put stuff in our environment so they can basically needle out the weak and keep them there. Okay, so that's why I said it's all about your mindset and your environment too. All the poor people that you see, they do the same things every day. They go to the same jobs, eat the same foods. They don't want to change their mindset. I can go to them, you can go to them, say, hey, bro, change your mindset. That's not good. And what are they going to do? Keep the same mindset.
And you know what's crazy, bro? Like, I didn't even want to speak on it because this is like close people that I talk to. Yeah. This is like,
I got them too.
Like I see them as my friends, my homies, sometimes my family, And little things can make a huge impact in your life. Like, just by literally saying the right words. Just by literally waking up in the morning and saying, ooh, what a good day. Today I'm going to be great and successful for the rest of my life.
Right.
And then boom, all of a sudden you're feeling good. All of a sudden you're actually doing what you need to get done. And, outside of just working, which we all have to do, there's a lot of things that we can also improve on, Right. I understand that some people may be tired. Some people may be, too much frustration going on in their lives. But if you say, like you said, if you really want to get to that level of being wealth, not even just your health, but also your economy, then I think that you need to actually think about all the actions that you're putting on, like all the work that you're actually projecting. And I'm not saying that I've made it. I'm not saying that, I'm rich.
Yeah.
But eventually I won't. This is what I think. I don't want to be rich because I feel like I'm already rich.
Yeah.
I already have what I consider myself being rich.
Right. It's all about...
I don't need money to be rich, bro.
Yo.
But what I need is a good state of economy. It's a good is to be free of like working a 9 to 5.
Right.
That's my goal. Stop working a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Having my own business. Running my own. Like helping each other out. Like one day I may be able to make you my partner, and we can build a fucking business or whatever.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that we can do in life, but we actually have to work. Like that's what we have to do. Work, not just a 9 to 5, but work on your dreams,
Right.
on your what you really want
On
to
your
do.
mission. Work on your mission.
Yeah.
But again, for you, you have that in your spirit already because you're, like you said, I want to be an entrepreneur, right? And that's number 8. You were born on an 8 day. Remember we talked about that? You already have it. So it's just taking a gamble on yourself. And again, I'm not the one to tell you when to do it because you're going to do it when you feel right. But once you take that gamble on yourself and you go out and you make your own business, it's going to fly just like that. But you got to work hard, bro. You work hard, you'll be fine, like I told you.
Yeah. We actually did talk about this.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why he's sitting right here. That's the whole reason why we are having a conversation right now. So, remind you guys, there was an episode where we were talking about me going to my friend's house, which is his friend also. So we went, and then boom, Marcus was there. And I sat right next to him, and how's it been, bro? How you been? Congratulations on the baby, da da da. And then all of a sudden, I did not mention anything about the podcast.
Yeah.
That was my friend and also his friend.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, he has a podcast?" And he's like, "Oh, for real?"
Yeah.
And then we got down to, "Oh shit, we can talk about this and that."
Right.
And now we're sitting here. And I don't think that was just a coincidence. I think that was meant to be. Like, I think for us to meet again after all those years that we haven't talked to, I feel like it was meant to be.
Right.
Like, I feel like there's this dude at my job that he's my friend. On Friday, we were talking about the economy. I asked him a question. I was like, "How do you think the economy impacts in our dreams, in our goals? Like, how do you think it brings us down on having us to like work for it a lot harder than usual to like actually get to your dreams?" And he was like, "Well, everything is expensive," and then he asked me a question. He was like, "Why do you think we are alive?" He's like, "Why do you think we're still here? Like, what is the energy that keeps us moving, and where does that energy come from?"
Yep.
And I was like, "Hold on, let me think about that." Like I didn't really have an answer to that. And I was like, that is a good question, like, where do we get all that energy from? And we also talked about this, me and you, that day.
Yeah.
And my answer, I didn't answer to him. I literally just thought in my head, I was like, God.
Right.
Literally. There is no other. I feel like for me, from what I think, like I told him, I don't think there is a right answer to this question.
Correct.
Because everybody has their own opinion. Everybody has their own beliefs.
Right.
But for my belief, and my answer was God. God is who keeps us moving. God is who provides all this energy for us.
Yep.
And God put us here because we have a purpose in life.
Right.
Some of us get to see it. Some of us don't get to see it. And that also, like I say, if you hang with the wolves, you're gonna be
a wolf.
So, yeah, that's one thing. It's crazy how like everything is meant to be.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how it works, because like I told you, I believe in manifestation. I believe in karma. I believe in all this.
Yeah.
And my friend doesn't, which I don't know why.
Right.
I really don't know, but that's his thing.
Yeah.
Everybody is have their opinion, like I said. But like I told him, so the reason why I believe in manifestation and that I think it works is because when I wanted to do this, when I wanted to do my podcast, I was preaching it for so long, and I was saying it all out, and I was telling everybody that I wanted to do my podcast, and And a lot of people were like, okay, okay. Like some people took me serious, some people don't. Till this day, some people think that I'm just
Yo.
bullshitting here,
Yeah.
which really I am. Like to be real,
Yeah.
to be real, like my homie comes here, we sit here, have a conversation, and we just,
Right.
we just go in there and talk about a lot of bullshit.
Right.
But but eventually we're gonna get good to the point where like, oh, I have like people that are actually doing good things in life. You're
Yep.
one of them. You're actually doing good things in life,
Yeah.
from what I see, from what I heard. And but the back to manifestation. I was saying it all the time, and then all of a sudden, I went on parental leave because I had my kid.
Yeah.
I came back, and like I told you, there is this app that we have that they reward us with points because we do good work. So I went and checked how many points did I have, and then turns out that I had like 3,000 points, which is equal like to like $300. And I was desperately thinking on how can I make that money to like buy my equipment for my podcast. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, this is the time. I can't not wait too long. Like I gotta do it now, or I'm never gonna do it. And I bought the mics, and then we rented this apartment, and and it comes with this room,
Which is perfect.
which is perfect.
Yo.
So it was like it was all meant to be.
Yo.
Like, and I think that's how manifestation works. And I tried to explain that to one of my friends, and he's like, "No, you just planned everything out." And I was like,
No.
I really did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just came to me. It just
Yeah,
happened.
yeah, yeah.
You got that feeling, that intuition.
But yeah, like I said, the words are the tongue has a power. Everything you say, it reflects on you.
It does.
Yeah. And I can speak all about it, but I'm not going to, because this involves people in my life, and I don't want to get anybody hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You
But
just gotta
yeah.
let them be who they are, you know?
Eventually, they will realize.
Right.
And if not, then, let them be. But yeah, man, so going back to what we're talking about, McDonald's.
Yeah.
10 years, huh?
Oh, it's not actually 10 years. I think we're coming up on 9. So
9
it's
years?
close though.
But hey, 9 years is 9 years, bro.
Yeah, 9 years is 9 years.
So how did it start? Why McDonald's?
So honestly, it's because it was the first job I could get. So I was 14, almost turning 15 at the time. And my mom, when we first moved here, because I'm from Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. So we moved here to Red Wing to try to get a better life. And she was struggling with her bills. And, me being a young hustler, I had to help my mom. So I was the second person to get a family or a job out of my family. So my sister works at Subway, and then I worked at McDonald's. And obviously it's everyone's first job at McDonald's. They're not taking it too serious. They're just playing around, just trying to make a little side money. Yeah. And I was doing that the same way too. I didn't think I was going to be at McDonald's for 9 years. But then after a while, for me, I started to look at it different. Like everyone thinks of it as just like a little side job. We just selling burgers and fries, whatever. Me, I started to look at it like, okay, this company, McDonald's, makes billions of dollars per year. Why does it make $1 billion per year?
It's a good company, man.
Right.
Everybody goes to McDonald's.
You keep it simple, right? They have great business mind, right? You can learn a lot of skills. And number 3, it's affordable, right? So that's why everybody goes there. So I'm thinking like, okay, how did they take that business model and make billions of dollars off of it?
If you're asking me,
Yeah.
I feel like it was just an idea that they had. I feel like burgers just sells, man. I feel like the food industry is just big.
It is.
And if you make it cheap, then it's definitely gonna hit.
Right.
That's just what I think, But like you said that it was affordable. You still think that it's affordable nowadays?
Compared to other restaurants? Absolutely.
You think so?
I mean, you go into, like Culver's. You eat Culver's? Man, you go in there and get like a deluxe meal, like $16, $17.
Crazy.
It's crazy now in our economy. But it's what we have to deal with. But it is still affordable because we have like the app and stuff that sells a lot of like product off of it. So they're trying to switch everyone over to digital. So that's why, like, if you order on the app, it'll save you a lot of money. But if you order in store, you got to pay more out of pocket. So that's why all these companies are charging you a lot to come to the drive-through. But once you go on their mobile app, you got 20% off. You got buy one, get one for $1.
Yeah. Coupons and rewards. And all that. Yeah.
Because they're trying to switch you to digital. So
okay.
It is affordable though.
I get your point. But you were explaining why 10 years of McDonald's, and you said
yeah. So basically, for me, I just learned a lot of skills from there. So like when I first became a manager at 16, you know, you start to understand how the business flows, and then you kind of start seeing, okay, if I say this to this person, it's going to make them do that. Or if I tell them this, it's going to make them do that. So then you start, okay, communication skills. First thing I learned, because as a manager, you're not worried about yourself anymore. You're worried about the entire business. So I learned communication skills off the bat. Number 2, learn how to problem solve. That is the biggest thing I've learned in my life, is how to problem solve. And I learned that from McDonald's. Like literally, any problem that I have, I use my McDonald's skills for that.
For real?
Yeah, it's because it teaches you the same thing about life. You got to problem solve, and you have to move quick too. You got to make quick decisions.
Yeah.
Like at McDonald's, let's say customer comes back, they're angry, right? They all mad and fussy, and they're like, "Oh, I want to speak to the manager." Yeah. I'm the manager now.
What's up? Yeah.
Right? Like, what's up? Like, now you got to go and you got to fix the problem, but you got to be fast. You can't sit there and ponder on it and think like, "Hey, what should I do?"
Yeah.
Right. That's not gonna make them happy. They're gonna be like,
"Yeah,
what your dumb self
right
doing?"
Away, right away.
So, So I learned problem solving, and then like inventory. That's something that you don't think about at McDonald's. You got to inventory everything, and that affects your money, which is food costs.
Okay.
So you're learning how to manage your inventory now. That's another thing about running a business. If you have T-shirts, you have shoes that you want to sell, how are you going to manage all the inventory? How do you know how much to bring in based on what you're selling? So it's just like you learn all these little key things as you're going through the management, scheduling. Okay, people talking about like the wealthy people.
Yeah.
They schedule out their entire day, right? Well, I'm scheduling out the entire day for McDonald's too. From what we got who we opening with, who's doing the food safety, who's doing the deposit, who's closing the store, who's going to be the filler. You learn all that scheduling stuff through McDonald's too. So you can take that to your day-to-day life too. You know you're going to be up from 9 to, well, not 9, probably like 7, 7 to 10, right? Plan out your whole day. What are you going to do from 7 to 10? Break it down.
See, that's crazy that you're saying that. You know, a lot of people call it just a job.
Right.
A lot of people, even though they have that title of being a manager, they call it a job. And they do that at their job, but then they forget when they get home.
Right.
They're like, "Oh, fuck this shit. I'm so over with this. I don't want to do nothing with them no more."
Yeah.
And all the things that you're doing, that you're saying, you're actually learning from it. There is a thing of doing it because of a job and not learning anything from it.
Right.
And there's a big difference between you actually doing it and keeping it for you, for your own information, your own, self. And it's good that you're doing that, because now not only you can start your own business, you can help people out by doing that. You can literally sit here, talk to people, and be like, "Yo, you know how to start a business? No, well, I got you. Listen, you can do this, that,
Right.
And then boom, not only you're making money off doing that, but you can also start your own business. So you got your store making money, you got your videos making money,
right?
And you got people working for you. You already know all this shit, man. Yep. So it's a good thing that you're actually paying attention to what you're doing instead of just listening and then letting it out from the other ear.
Right.
So it's a good thing that you look at it that way, A lot of people look at it from just like, oh, McDonald's. Once I get old enough to where I can work in another job, I'm definitely fucking quitting this shit. And it really surprises me how bad I talk about McDonald's.
Yeah.
Really, to be real with you, I used to think about McDonald's like, what the fuck? Like, why am I gonna work there? Like fuck that place. Because I worked in the food industry too, but I never worked at McDonald's.
Right.
And it was so dumb for me to talk about that because I never worked there either.
Right.
But now that I have you here and you're actually telling me this,
Yeah.
it's like, damn. Any job can teach you something.
Right.
But some people just take it as a job, man. I don't really want to learn nothing from here. I'm just here to make my bank.
And leave. And that's it. And that's the problem that we have, especially with our generation too. Like, we're so focused on what everybody else is doing instead of figuring out what we need to do. And like for you, for example, like when we were talking the last time, I was just so surprised because you were like, yeah, got my own podcast, bro. I stopped drinking. I was like, dang, I found somebody just like me. And it was crazy too because, like you said, I didn't want to go. But when you find people that like think the way that you do, it makes your life even more enjoyable. He's like, okay, now I got you to piggyback off of. So,
and that is really good, you know. Like if you start manifesting, if you start manifesting that I want to be more knowledgeable, I want to learn more things, and this I say this every fucking day, and even in my podcast, every video you guys are gonna catch me saying I want to learn more, because I actually do, you know. I'm not good to the point where I can, you know, maintain a conversation going in a good way, you know. Like I still need to learn how to speak properly. I still need to learn some keywords that I need to put in the podcast, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna do it as I go.
Right.
Every episode that I do and I film and I edit, I always listen to it and I'm like, okay, so I fucked up on this, then I'm gonna fix it.
Right.
You know. Like sidetracking, I get sidetracked a lot. Like you start talking about something and then in my mind comes something that you just said, and then I have to stop you and talk about it.
Right.
And that's not good for me. I feel like it's not good because I'm editing and then all of a sudden I see that I sidetrack myself, and then when we go back to the same topic we were talking about,
right,
like we forget about it.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. And that's one thing that I like. It's hard for me to work on, but I want to start working on it, you know. And that's one thing that us as people, we gotta understand that mistakes are good for you. Mistakes are key in your life, you know, because if you don't go through all of those mistakes in your life, then you're never gonna learn,
right,
you know. And it's like you need those in your life to become a better person of you, you know.
You do.
And that's crazy though. Like you're saying that you met me and I met you, and it's like we both are on the same path. Like we both want to be wealth. We both want to, you know, have some money. You know, we both want to grind and shit. And he also mentioned that you say you had a podcast going, or?
Yep, I do. Currently.
So he has a podcast going too. So it's like, how crazy that shit works.
Yeah.
You know,
just lined
the
up.
universe is just like, you're speaking it into existence. Like if I say tomorrow, if I said this, you know, if I said that this video is gonna hit 1 million views, it may not, but eventually throughout the years, it may.
Right.
You never know. But it's crazy. Like I said, it's crazy how, you know, speaking works. It's just fucking insane. But yeah, so like, what's your podcast about? What do you talk about?
So I do it with my partner too. So what we talk about is basically like the same things we're talking about right now, just about life, you know, and just things that we learned along the way on our journey as we're doing it. So like for me, I can learn something today from you, and I'm taking it to my podcast. Hey guys, you know, this is what I learned, yada yada yada. And I'm just gonna spit game, and it's the same thing. Like you just gotta keep taking that knowledge in and use it, and then share it, because that's how you're gonna make your money. In a way, it's not all about the money, but you're gonna show your wealth, and my wealth is my knowledge. Yeah, and that's what I use wealth as, is my knowledge. So whatever I gain up here, it's eventually going to bring me money. It might not be today, not tomorrow, like I said, in 3-4 years, but it's going to bring me money.
It's going
That's my wealth, is my knowledge.
But that's good that you think about it that way, you know. I got a question for you. How hard is it to be a manager?
See, there's a couple of ways I could go about this, but it depends on your skills, okay? So like everyone has different skills to them, okay? For me, it's hard because I'm learning about it. But somebody like you can probably go into McDonald's and be really good at it, but you never know because you never tried. But you have the skills to do it. But it's all about your mindset as a leader, Like, so many people think just being a manager, you're just bossing people around and yada yada yada. It's more than that. You gotta look at it as like a business. Okay, how would you want your business to run? And that's how you run it. Okay,
Okay.
you gotta lead. Number one for me is hospitality. Okay, so if I'm on front counter and I'm like mad, nobody's gonna want to approach me, right? Because I don't have a smile on my face. I look mad. I look angry at my life, right? So hospitality is one. Number two is just it's the way that you convey your message to whoever you're talking to. So if I'm talking to you and I'm trying to get you to be more positive, I might use a more like uplifting voice. But let's say if I'm trying to coach you or make you do better and you learn better that way, I might use like a lower tone, like
Okay.
not like a dictator. I don't want to say like a dictator, but like a harder voice.
Yeah.
And it's all about like you learn those things too, because like, for example, you might have somebody that doesn't like to be yelled at, right? So now you have to change your management style to be more kind-hearted. Say, hey, I seen you did that, but can you do this instead?
There you
Rather than
go.
somebody else that likes to be yelled at, you can be like, dude, what are you doing? Like, get your stuff together. You know what I mean? So it's all about how you're gonna do it. And I feel like that's something that you need to learn too. But back to your question, like how hard is it? It just depends on how bad you want it. If you want to be a good manager, you got to work on yourself, bro, because you can't do the same things that you've been doing. You can't talk. You can talk the same, but you can't think the same ways.
Yeah, I get it. And have you like experienced like mad employees? Like what's the worst that you would experience?
As a manager, I think okay. So when I first moved to Rochester from Red Wing, I had this one nighttime closer, bro. Fucking pissed me off all the time. The reason why he pissed me off was because he's the type to like if you yell at him, he feel like he can yell back at you. But he's also the type to be talking smack when you walk away. So if you tell him nicely, he be talking shit. And I hear it, bro. And that's just what makes me mad. So then I go back up to him and then I give him what he gave me, basically. And then, it was bad. But that was my worst experience because I had to kick him out of the store. I sent him home. And that was the first time I ever did that in my career. Like, send somebody home.
As of like what, 9 years?
9 years. I had to, and it was in front of like the whole entire staff too. And I was new there too. Think about it. You're a new general manager coming to a new store. They don't know you.
And that's another thing. How old are you?
22.
He's only 22, y'all.
Yeah.
So like, obviously, they're gonna get pissed.
Right.
They're not at the same level
like
as you are.
Like this young guy telling you what to do. Yeah. And I get that all the time. Like, people think that just because you're young, they can run over you. And that's the one thing I hate too.
Yep.
Like, you got to respect me. Like, I'm here for a reason. Like, I'm not just some young guy that they threw in here to run the business. I know what I'm doing. Obviously, if they sent me here, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So that you got to trust me to run the business. And people like these 40-year-olds have been at McDonald's for a long time. Not knocking anything about them, but they feel like they can walk over you because they see you as a child.
Yeah, that's so messed up of like the generation or their generation because they feel like because they're older, they can treat you like shit. And it's not. It's more like on your actions. So like if your actions are speaking good and you're actually doing what you're supposed to do and doing it good, then I feel like they have the right to like respect you as a manager because you are a manager, you know. And I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like, I was once in a position or I'm still in a position where I have to listen to somebody when I work, and I've learned that you kind of have to listen. Like you have to listen. Like there's people where like they tell, let's say you're telling me to do something, and I do it for the time when you're watching me, like if you're telling me to do something, like I'm doing it, you walk away, and then I start doing the same shit that I was doing, and that's not good because like once you get to think about that mindset of like you want to start doing your own business, you change your mindset. Why? Because you know that one day you're gonna start being a manager or you're gonna be a boss, and you want people to listen to you. You want people to understand where you're coming from. And that's why I was like, okay, I gotta stop doing this is my job. I'm gonna start doing my shit right,
Mm-hmm.
And it just makes it easy for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys are working at a store or whatever you guys are working, just listen to your boss.
Show some
Sometimes,
respect.
yeah, sometimes it may seem like they don't know what they're doing, but they actually do know.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why they're sitting there.
Right. Like there's a bigger task at hand. So like for example, like I'm just gonna put one McDonald's like thing in there. So like um when you're doing fries, for example, everybody loves to get a full fry.
Mm-hmm.
But again, if I tell you not to stuff it, I'm telling you for a reason. Not saying that we don't do that because we do fill them up, okay? But sometimes we have to make sure it's at the right ratio because, for example, it's a business. We want to make money.
Mm-hmm.
So if I keep filling your fries up full and it feels heavy, we're losing money, okay? But that doesn't affect you because you get your full fry, but it affects me and my business because I'm losing money, and that might affect my bonus, So you got to think of it like that too. If you don't meet your goals as a manager, you're not going to get money. But they don't think of it like that because they don't care. They just say, oh, I got a full fry.
Yeah.
This is what I got last time. I
Yeah.
need it like this tomorrow. You know what I mean? So it's, again, if we tell you to do something, it's a reason behind it because the business is losing money. It's just not you.
Yep. And it does, like he said, that it doesn't benefit you, or it doesn't matter to you if you get your full fries, you're more happy about it, and it doesn't hurt you in a way, but it actually does because you'll be getting fatter.
That's true. That's true. That's true, bro. That's so true.
But not like, that's crazy, bro. 22 years old, you're already manager.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel? Like, you as a person, you walk around the streets, you're like, fuck you, I'm a manager.
No, I don't walk around like that. I'm very humble because I understand that I'm very blessed to be in my position in life because not many people that I know in my environment are making the same money or doing the same things I'm doing. And I'm just grateful enough to be in that position because I could be somewhere worse, I could be, on the streets or whatever, somewhere else that I don't need to be. So for me, I look at it like, okay, I have this opportunity that I was given. Now I have to use it. So if I'm in a high position, I'm going to use that to better my life and then better the people around me.
Okay.
When I get to that point, But you have to keep going. Like, you can't skip a step. That's why I tell people, like, everybody wants to jump from being this to rich. That's not how it works in this lifetime. You got to learn your lessons. Once you learn your lessons, then you can get there.
And if you skip a step, there's a high risk that when you fall down, you're never going to get back up again.
Right, because you missed that step. Now you're going to fall even deeper now.
Yep.
So
yeah, everything takes time, everything takes dedication, and there's a lot of things that you got to do to get where you go, But why Rochester?
So I was at the location here, and then I wasn't a GM at the time, but there was an open GM position, and they wanted me to go run Zimbrota, which is like 30 minutes away from here. And I went there, and then another position opened up in Rochester, and I was doing really good at Zimbrota. Like, we were staffed, and we were making our making our budgets and stuff like that. So they moved me up because I was doing such a nice job. And I went to Rochester, which is even worse because, number one, you got more stores out there. I think there's 7 in total.
Ooh.
But we make more money a year.
Oh, shit.
So it was busier. And there's a lot more staff. So it's more challenging. But again, the bigger the challenge, the better the reward.
There you
so
go.
you get bigger bonus, you get better pay and stuff like that. So I did it for me because I was like, okay, it's going to be hard because I'm moving away from my family, number one, which I don't like. But number two, it's going to make me better as a person because I'm learning new skills that I couldn't have learned if I stayed. If I stayed in my environment, I couldn't get better. Yeah. I couldn't get bigger than it, right? But if I move outside of it, I can create anything I want. So I just took that opportunity to really just level up myself and my mindset. And then obviously, bank account too. You got to level up that bank account.
Yes, sir. That's all about that money sometimes. Yeah. Hey, man, what's the most that McDonald's can pay?
I'll be honest with you. As much as you want it to pay, you just got to work for it. So I'm not going to say how much I make a year because that's too much for the camera. But I make a lot more money. I think I make more than people who go to college and they go to school for 4 or 5 years.
Ooh.
I'm probably already making that.
A McDonald's.
at McDonald's. It's crazy.
It is crazy, bro.
Because
and we talked about this with my homeboy too.
Yeah.
I told him, I was like, yo, like, it's crazy how people go to college and they do all this and all that and they get in debt.
Mm-hmm.
And they never end up doing what they go for college. You know?
Right.
They never end up, working in that.
Right. That field.
And it's like, that's crazy because, like, you working at McDonald's, bro, you make more money than some people that go to college.
Right.
And it's
crazy to think about, too, because, like, I know the people, right? Mm-hmm. And they always ask me, oh, you work at McDonald's, you probably don't even make that much money. And I ask them, like, how much money you make? They're like, whatever, like, 50,000. 50,000.
All right.
I make more than that.
Shit.
They was like, no way you make more than that. And I showed them because, obviously, tax season are around. Mm-hmm. You get to show them your W-2. Yeah, bro, I had to pay in to the state this year. That's how you know you make money.
That means you're making money.
The government money, you know you're making money. Because you're up in a different tax bracket. But
that is crazy, dog.
Yeah, bro. It's crazy because I never, like, you would never imagine working at a fast food restaurant that you can make that type of money.
That is crazy.
Yeah, but my operations manager, he's, like, above my supervisor. Mm-hmm. Bro, tell me why this dude make over $100K base salary, bro. And his bonuses, he gets, like, I think, like, a third of all the stores that he runs, right? Whatever bonus they make, he gets a third of it. Ooh. And guess how many stores he has? 16.
What?
Yes, bro. It's crazy.
Jesus. So, but hey, we're talking about it like it's easy. Yeah. It's really not.
It's not. It's not easy really at all. It's not.
Like, it took him 9 years to make this much money.
Right.
And a lot of, sometimes you got to work extra hard.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Because then that's when you really know that it's going to pay off,
Bro, I can tell you, like to your point, I miss a lot of parties, miss a lot of birthdays. I don't work so many days straight in a row. I can't remember. There was one time I think I worked like 21 days in a row, nonstop, at McDonald's. Crazy. There's some sacrifices that come with that. If you want to make money, you got to make sacrifices. You can't always do the same things that you're always doing. Mm-hmm. And, like, I lived at McDonald's, and you know that because every single time you come to the drive-thru, you see me.
Yeah. But I was number one customer there.
He's a number one customer. Back with the McChickens and everything.
Hey, he knows my order, bro. The McChickens be here different.
For real.
No, but I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I stopped eating McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think it's not good for you sometimes.
It's not, but it's all about your mindset. Like me, I'm not gonna lie because I still eat it sometimes, but it's not as much as I used to. Mm-hmm. Because once you get to that mindset of, oh, I gotta do better for my life, you understand what they're putting into the food, and then you stop eating it. Like, it's kind of weird for me being in this position because I run a McDonald's, but then what going into the food, so you kind of feel guilty in a way, but at the same time, it's making you your money, So until I find something else that's gonna make me as much money as McDonald's, I gotta stay where I'm at.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about it, bro. The food.
Yeah. Bro, the food. Bro, I can't even do this to the viewers, man. I can't do it. No, all
right. No. Let's actually not do it because, you know, yeah. But why don't you eat pork?
So, it kind of goes back to astrology what we're talking about, right? Mm-hmm. So, we're born in the year of the snake, which is 2001, right? Mm-hmm. So, our enemy sign is the year of the pig, okay? And what is pork? Pork is pig. Mm-hmm. So, why would you want to eat your enemy sign? It's no good for you. Not only just that, you got to think about it as, like, what do you feed pigs? Mm-hmm. Usually what you feed them is whatever scraps that you have of leftover something, right? Mm-hmm. They'll be eating garbage. Anything
that gets on their way, they eat it. They eat that shit.
Right. So then you got to think about it. If they're cooking that animal that put whatever into the body, what are you eating? Whatever they just ate.
Trash. Right. Literally, yeah.
So that's why I stopped eating pork too, because what's crazy about it, like how we were talking about earlier, how like the world sets you up for failure. Mm-hmm. I feel like they set me up for failure because I used to love bacon when I was growing up. I loved it. Like, I used to eat bacon like almost every day.
Crazy.
And then once I found out, I was like, wow, they really try to set me up. Like, so then I stopped eating it, and I've never.
How you found out?
So it was through astrology. So it's like, obviously, I put 2 and 2 together, connecting the dots. Mm-hmm. If my enemy sign is the pig, you're the pig, obviously you don't want to eat pork.
Mm.
Just like, for example, if you're, um, like you're the goat or something like that, and your enemy sign, not saying it is like a tiger, you don't want to eat tiger meat
Yeah.
because it's not good for you.
That'd be crazy though. Eating
Yeah.
tiger meat.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
Some people do it, but that's exotic. But yeah, you just gotta watch out what you're eating because it could affect your energy.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's crazy. I never thought about that.
same thing when you told me that you don't drink alcohol. That's something that I was like, okay, you're onto something because you should know that it affects us more being in the year of the snake to drink alcohol.
Really?
Yes, because it's all about like, I don't know if you're into like Kundalini energy and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So when you drink alcohol, there's this you get this liquid that we were talking about a little bit last time. Like
Yeah. You
so
did
your
say
brain,
that.
so basically it produces this liquid that travels down your spine all the way down to your uterus area, right?
Mm-hmm.
And once that sets in there, and you don't drink anything bad or harm your body, once that new full moon comes, you get a level up in consciousness.
Mm.
So like you get more information, you start to receive what they call downloads. So you just start knowing things. You're like, oh dang, I just thought of this. Like, wow, why didn't I think of this earlier?
That's crazy because
Yeah.
like it does work like that. Like, not saying that I'm the smartest people. No,
Right.
no, not saying that I'm the smartest person out there. But
Mm-hmm.
I feel like once I stopped drinking alcohol,
Mm-hmm.
I had a lot of thoughts that came to my mind, like, and it wasn't just like, what if? It was just like, if I do this, then this will happen, and it was just like good things that will come to my mind, you know. And I feel like when you're sober, you get to connect to who you are.
Right.
You get to know yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And alcohol is just not good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that I don't drink it, like I will never drink it again, but like if I drink, I'm only gonna drink like one beer. That's
Right.
it.
You can't get trashed because, like I said, it's somewhat deeper meaning to it between alcohol and the liquor. But it's just like once you drink that, you could potentially lose your soul. So like, let's say when we get wild drunk, right,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't know what we did the next day, right? That wasn't you that did that. That was a spirit that took over.
That is crazy.
Yeah, that's a
dog.
spirit that took over. Whatever bad spirit was around you, it took over because guess what? You weren't conscious enough to realize that it was taking over your body. Because, you know, like you hear the stories, oh, I did this wild thing when I was drunk and I don't remember it. No, you didn't do that. That spirit did that for you.
Bro, let me tell you a story.
Yeah.
So there was this one time where it was my homie's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And it was his first time drinking, and bro, like he got so drunk to the point where he was like on the ground, like he was like
Mm-hmm.
bad, like he was down bad.
Yeah.
And bro, I tell you, bro, I did not recognize this man.
Yeah.
Like the way he was acting, the way he was like on the ground, like he was almost breaking his body in half. Yes, bro. And it's like, yo, get this man some help.
Right.
Like, you know, like we had to like kind of like grab him and hold him and kind of like so he wouldn't hurt himself.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because he was like doing weird shit
Mm-hmm.
where to the point where I feel like he would like if he kept on doing the shit he was doing,
Yeah.
it was like either like he would break a bone.
Yeah, bro.
And I feel like I looked at it and I wasn't drunk to the point where I couldn't like I didn't have conscience.
Right.
But I was tipsy, but I still knew what the fuck was going on.
Right.
And I looked at him and I was like, no, this is not good. Like that's not him.
Mm-hmm.
And then I told my homies, I'm like, yo, let's help this dude out. So we grabbed him. We didn't try to make it seem like he was having a bad time.
Mm-hmm.
We just grabbed him, lift him up, and I hugged him, and I was just hugging him, and I was just like talking to him.
Yeah.
Like, yo, you know,
Yeah.
like, yeah, we chill, we cool,
Yeah.
whatever. And then he started like to calm down little by little, and then I laid him on his bed, but like the way he was like acting,
Yeah.
it was just so strange.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so weird. Like, it almost seemed like he had a fucking demon inside him.
Right. Yo.
It's crazy, dog. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It may be something that alcohol brings to you.
Bring them bad negative spirits into you.
That's why I was like, that's fucked, dog.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that do shit and they're like, oh yeah, I don't remember that shit.
Right.
I was just listening to a podcast earlier where this influencer, she's Mexican, and she said that she got her man put his hands on her.
What?
Yeah, like he got drunk and they were in a party and they were, it was his birthday or whatever. They were going crazy, they were dancing at the club and whatever, and then homeboy got way too drunk and they were walking out, like they were like leaving the club. And then they got to the car and homeboy hopped on the car on the driver's seat, and then she asked him, she was, are you okay to drive? And then she said that it must have like hit him that he was drunk. And then he was like, no, but he was like just being so disrespectful to her. He was like,
Right.
he was like, bitch, what the fuck? Like, get the
Yeah.
fuck out the car and like drive. And like
Right.
just being disrespectful as fuck. And so she got out the car, hopped in the driver's seat, and then they were driving, right? And she said that he fall asleep. He fall asleep. And then since they were on vacation, they didn't know the area that well. So she was about to run a red light.
Yeah.
And she hit the brake. She slammed on the brake, and when she slammed on the brake, homeboy
Hit the dashboard.
yeah. And then since he was drunk, his first reaction was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Yeah. And homeboy
Yeah.
hit her, and she said that he had a watch. Yeah, bro.
So just smacked her too. Bro, nah.
And then she was just like in shock, like she didn't know what to do, cause like that's her man's, like
Right, and you just hit me.
yeah, like what the fuck?
Like how are you supposed to react to
Yeah.
that?
And then she said that they got to the hotel and everything, and then she was just thinking about it, like, well, what do I do now? Like, do I call the police? Do I not? Because that's your partner too.
Right.
Like you don't know. Like I feel like she had the right to call the police, but at the same time, it's like he's my home. Like he's my boyfriend. I don't want to get him in trouble type shit. And then anyway, so she like went up to her room, but like she was covering her face with a face mask, and like she cleaned herself or whatever.
Yeah.
And then she got to the hotel room, and she looked up. She looked in the mirror, and she saw how like fucked up she like had her lip.
Her lip was busted
yeah.
too?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
dang.
she said that it was just bad, and then she started thinking about like how that happened, and like if that was him, if like that was just who he was or who he is, because he had never acted like this.
Right.
But then she was like, well, he's too fucking drunk. Like she was just confused about it, right? And then homeboy noticed that because she left him on the car and went upstairs to clean her face and everything. So the dude that how do you say the person at the front door on the hotel, the receptionist?
Yeah.
The receptionist wouldn't notice that she was beat up.
Right.
So she went upstairs, cleaned her face, came down. She was gonna come down to grab him and then take him upstairs.
Yeah.
But as she was on the bathroom, he called her and he was like, "Whoa, why the fuck you leave me down here?" Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
And then she was just like, "Oh, I just came up to clean my face," and then he managed to go upstairs, and then she went to pick him up at the elevator, and then he didn't notice that he had hit her.
Hit her.
And then boom, blacked out. He fall asleep, wake up the next day, and then she was like, why did you do this? Like, what the fuck
Right.
happened? And then his reaction was like, oh, what the fuck happened? Like, I don't know why. Like, who did that to you?
Right.
You got into a fight or something?
Yeah.
And then she was like, no, like you did this to me.
Right.
And then homeboy was like, what? Like I could never, like I would have never hurt you. And then, anyways, the whole situation here is like, alcohol could really fuck you up.
It can.
It's just like, I feel like there's a lot of spirits out there, like demons, like actual demons out here that are just waiting for you to lose
Your
your
consciousness.
consciousness.
Yup.
Once you're gone, once you're fucked up, boom, they hit you from so many different ways.
Yo.
It can be from being aggressive. It can be from being, just having dirty thoughts and
Yep.
dirty mindset
Yep.
and just not being who you are.
Right.
There's a lot of things that I think about. Like even me, like I'm gonna be real with you. Like there was times where not even like being drunk, but like just not being in my mind, like not being in my conscious of what I was doing.
Right.
And I would just think about like so much shit. But then I'll like click back and be like, what the fuck are you thinking?
Right.
Yeah, like, and that's just weird because you're like, what the fuck was I just thinking?
Right.
And I feel like that's just like demons that are trying to get to you,
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not really aware of what you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
then you can really fuck up on some
Right.
shit. And it's just crazy how it's just crazy to not be sober, Like if you're not sober, then you can really fuck up on some shit,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy, What else we can talk about?
Man, there's just a lot of things that we could go through.
Yeah,
But it's just like at the moral of the story, it's just that we're just here
for real.
acknowledging each other on our journey, bro.
For
And
real.
like I said, you know a lot of stuff too. You might not think that you don't, but you do because literally as you're talking, I'm like, dang, like I thought like that too.
Yeah.
I had the same thoughts, and it's crazy.
Yeah,
Just how much you've learned by the way that you experience your life, and the same thing for me. Like I had a different life, and you had a different life, but we still got the same message. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, I get what
it's
you're
crazy.
saying. Yeah. Hey, for you guys are not seeing the video anymore. My camera just stopped recording.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna end it here. So we're gonna. I'm definitely gonna have you back in another episode. But anything else you want to add?
No, just thank you for having me, bro. Look, when you told me you had a podcast, I was like, all right, I gotta hop on it because I was very excited. Because for me, having somebody outside my own cousin, I was like, okay, I gotta see their perspective. But
For real.
it really
Hey, you gotta invite me to your podcast.
bro, I will. I got you.
What's the name?
Well, right now it's kind of just whatever. Like we don't have a name. We're just throwing it out there because right now we're trying to get it trademarked. But the names that we were using, it's already had
It's
it, so we
already
couldn't
used?
trademark. So now we're trying to come up with a new name because we're trying to really put it out there. You know how like you have yours,
Yeah.
and I don't know if you can trademark it or not. But when it comes big, you don't get run into legal issues. So.
Yeah. See, I don't know. I tried looking it up on all social medias,
Yeah.
and there was
Nothing on there. No, it's fire though. I was like,
Yeah.
I had to give me some merch, bro.
like
I had to rep some
I don't know
merch
if you get it. Like you see the dash on the NT and the key U, and then that leaves you with do it.
What is the line for though?
No, it's just a dash.
Oh,
so
it's like a dash?
So like don't quit / NT and key QU, and then that's do it.
Oh, okay. I see it. That's fire.
You see what you mean?
That's fire. That's creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, Spanglish podcast because, like, we speak Spanish
Of
too.
course.
Yeah. But, hey, man, thank you for being on
Yes,
the podcast.
sir.
And I'll definitely have you again. Don't know where, but you have to be here because I got to get my knowledge up on some of the shit that you were just talking about.
Trust me, we can do a specific podcast or whatever. You just let me know.
All right, man. Thank you for being here.
Yes, sir.
And thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to, comment, like, and subscribe. Like I said, right now I'm just uploading on YouTube because I ran into some issues with Spotify that I can talk about later on. But with that being said, you guys have a good rest of your day, night, or if you're starting out the morning, the first thing you got to do when you start in the morning, when you wake up, think positive. Do
Positive
not
mindset.
wake up. Don't wake up and just think like, oh, fuck this shit. No. That's your first word in the morning should be something positive. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, I got something before we go. Okay, so something I learned too. Your first 30 minutes of your day should not involve any technology. Because, you know why? Because basically the black screen is like a black hole, right? So your mind just goes into the black hole. And that's why a lot of people on their phones, they don't like think for themselves. And I know we can go into a different podcast. I ain't
Yeah.
gonna run up your time, but first 30 minutes should be just all to yourself, because it gets you into that mindset of thinking for yourself. So when you get up, don't automatically do the same things that you always do. Get up, maybe stretch, maybe do some yoga, maybe do some meditating, bro. Like if you do that in the first 30 minutes a day, it's going to change your life.
Yep.
Don't just be on automation, bro. That's what I'm telling you. Don't be on automation.
Yeah, that is key right there. I ain't gonna lie, like I try to, but it's way too hard, man.
Look, you just got to do it, bro. It's called that discipline. You got to do it. Just go and do it. Just like how you said with the podcast, you just did it and you learned along the way.
See, it's not like I wake up and like the first thing I do is watch my phone. Sometimes I do it, but sometimes it clicks, and I look at my phone and I'm like, I gotta wait a little bit, at least 10 minutes, at least, you know.
Yeah.
But it's just hard, man. Like nowadays, the phone has become like a part of your body now.
But that's the reason why they want you to be on your phone. And that's why technology is advancing, because you're getting away from your natural body, which is just
true.
thinking for yourself.
Hey, we're going to get into this in
Yeah,
another
bro.
podcast, man.
All right,
Hey,
bro, I appreciate it.
listen, y'all. Well, they're not even watching, but
I
just
know.
listen.
Yeah, just listen. Just listen.
Yeah, so that'll be it for today. You guys have a good rest of your day. You already said it. Well, it's the Don't Quit podcast. You guys have a good day or good night. Goodbye.